Hello, this is Thrassoss, and this is episode 3 of my Feed the Beast Let's Play. The Modpack is FTB Resurrection. It's a spiritual successor to the old FTB Modpack Ultimate back in 1.5 days. And let's get started. This is, as I said in my previous episodes, this is my first Let's Play, so mistakes will be made. First off, you might notice that this is the only, or rather first video on this particular channel. I'm still learning YouTube's inner workings, the ins and outs of how YouTube works. So my first two videos were posted under my real name, and I hear that's kind of bad on the internet. So figured out how to do the whole channel thing, and I got that sorted out. So, went back through, looked at my old videos. Still learning a lot about how to broadcast, how to work different systems, different, more or less the techniques of how to put together a better set of videos. So, let's just recap on those first two episodes. I started way over there. I'm 7,500 from spawn. My whole bit was I kind of wanted to find an extreme hills biome, and it took me forever to find a good one. There was one small one next to spawn, wasn't really what I wanted, and I spent about 4 hours in real life time running around trying to find a better and better biome. Finally dug into the ATG, which is alternate train generation config files, and tweaked a little bit of the biome weight for the extreme hills, and then I ended up finding this. I ended up boiling it down to the 4 hours of gameplay video down into 2 half-hour episodes. Both of them were a little slow. It's just me running around the forest and such, looking for cool biomes. Crossed 2 oceans. Managed to loot, I think it was 4 or 5 villages. So I did manage to get some decent RNG off of that. A couple of things is going to help me out kind of early on, I think. I ended up finding 2 different villages with steel in them, so that's going to give me easier nether access. Found some railcraft stuff. I think that's going to help me out with like steam production and that kind of stuff. And also, I am looking forward to doing some interesting builds. I'm not a good builder, but I want to learn to be a good builder. I really like some of the videos from a couple of different YouTubers that do some pretty neat builds. So I'm going to try to be using some chisel, some carpenter's blocks, and all that stuff to try to make interesting builds. You saw up there, this was, just your standard little peninsula deal. I've cleaned that off. I want to give you a quick little base tour here. Cleaned that off, leveled everything out, built this cabin, using some carpenter's blocks up there. Neat sloped roof, kind of making it look pitched. I'm still working on it on the back end. Just trying out different things, seeing what looks good. Edged glass from extra utilities I thought looked decent. Spent a lot of time gathering resources. It takes a while to grow all the wheat necessary for all those hay bales, because carpenter's block, in order to disguise the block, you need to put a copy of that block on it. It just kind of holds that block as if you'd placed it down. Let me give you a quick demonstration of what I'm talking about. I have here 2 forestry work tables. These things are fantastic. Let me show you how those are built. A book and wood is all you need. Forestry crafting table is a crafting... why'd I do that? Is a crafting table, a chest, and a book on top of each other. So it's a bam, bam, bam. And there you go. I don't really need this right now, but I'll be using it here in a little bit. Cool thing about these is that it holds your recipes. So here are here's the last 9 recipes I've used out of this workbench. Mostly between the first 2 episodes and this one, I've been doing a lot of just resource gathering. Farmed a bunch of trees, kind of dug up a little bit of mats, not a whole lot, but some. But the carpentry blocks, your basic building block of the whole mod is this carpenter's block. Wood planks, 8 sticks, gets you 5 of them. We get this hay bale, slap this baby on the ground, and bam, hay bale. You might say that's not that impressive, you could just place down the hay bale. But you can do this. I got some here. A sloped edge in Minecraft. Looks amazing. If you tag it on the bottom half of the block, it will orient the hay bale that way. You get back your mats when you break it. That's a weird bug. Sometimes you get them back in a different shape. I don't know what's going on there. But, oh well. And then if you slap it on top of the block, you get the same thing. Hold on. That's weird. How about this side? Yeah. Yeah, that's different. The other times it was running sideways. Okay, there we go. Anyway, there's a lot of different shapes with carpenter blocks that you can do, kind of different sort of roof peak type things, like that. So you can, and they all have different recipes that are just, you know, sticks in these carpenter blocks. So they're pretty cheap to make just for a decorative item, but they can make some pretty neat aesthetics things. So, talking about builds. I'm just doing a small build down here, just as something neat to test out different ideas. Once I get a little bit more industry going, I'm going to eventually build up there. I'm kind of looking to do some kind of big, ominous sort of mountain fortress overlooking this whole valley here. So, that's going to take a while. I kind of want to have a little bit of industry going before I jump up there. You know, I want automatic wood production, all the usual stuff so that I can get resources easy. You know, it's starting to get nightfall. I am going to go sleep. I'll get back to you guys in a minute. Alright, let me give you a little tour of the base before we get started with some of my first build stuff. Got furnaces. This is just mostly a miscellaneous chest. It's basically what I'm working out of. You see I got 3 hobbyist steam engines and 3 rolling machines out of one of the villages I went through. I got a division sigil, whatever it's called, out of a desert temple I passed. Miscraft pages. I got some emeralds from by trading. I can't remember what it was. I think wheat or books or something to a villager somewhere out at like 4,000 from spawn. This is all my plants and mob drops. This is supposed to be Thumbcraft and reliquary stuff. I'll be eventually getting into Thumbcraft, probably fairly early on. Miscellaneous ore that I'm pretty sure I cannot process yet. And this is ore that I either can process or haven't really looked at yet. Processing ore in Gregtech is a pretty non-intuitive. It's not necessarily hard, but you kind of have to have a little bit of knowledge, which nothing really provides that knowledge. It's not like there's a a mod book for Gregtech or anything like there is for Britannia or any of the other mods. So you kind of have to figure that out on your own. Let me and I am certainly no expert, but I have messed around with it a little bit. Let me quickly show you guys what the deal is. Okay, I'm up here at Y level 90. This isn't anything hard fast. I think the Y levels where you can find this stuff is pretty wide. But I think iron, as far as I can tell, it looks like iron is some of the upper stuff. It's usually easier to find in some kind of hilly biome where you have a lot of exposed rock, or like a chasm or cavern or a cave or something like that. But the first iron you're going to be able to use is up here. Magnetite requires some processing. It's one of the iron ores. Gregtech adds probably 100 ores. And magnetite is one of the ones that you use to produce iron. You can just use a normal stone chisel. I happen to have a ruby pickaxe here, but just a normal wood. I don't know about wood. I know a normal stone chisel would do it. Magnetite is kind of a low-end iron ore, but these are just huge veins. I've already mined this out a bit to get some of my early starting iron already. But if you can see right here, this stuff that looks almost like the just normal smooth stone, it's actually iron ore. You can mine this and get just a normal iron ore. I'm hitting U and showing you this just is almost like a normal iron recipe. Just smelt it down to your iron bar. You're probably gonna maybe 5-10% of the overall vein of like a magnetite vein seems to be iron ore. Here's another one. Bam. I'll go ahead and mine a little bit of this magnetite just to show you. I think I have a couple stacks down there. But I've already been up here mining a little bit just to get some of my starting stuff. I'll go ahead and head down there, and then I'll show you some of the other stuff. Alright, back down at my workbench here. The first tool you're gonna need a series of hand tools to do some of your early Gregtech processing stuff and your early Gregtech manufacturing type stuff. The first tool you need to build is a hammer. I have one here, right here. The way you end up building that is a 1 stick and 6 of almost anything. Right here I have iron. You can use almost any ore that you can create here. There's copper. I'm pretty sure that you can even use wood. Let me try this out. Yeah, you can even use wood. I'm pretty sure the durability is different. Speed, mining, wood, 0. I don't know, I haven't tried it, but you can use almost anything to get that. There's a lot of gems and stuff in some of these, some of the veins. There's usually a lot of ruby gems in redstone vein, so that's where I got my my rubies from to make my ruby sword, my ruby hammer and pick. But there's a few different kinds of gems. Generally speaking, with a lot of these recipes, let me go do hammer. Is that it? Yeah. There is a ton of these recipes. Amethyst. Oh, wrong arrow. Fire shards, gold. There's all kind of these recipes. Oh, was that nether star? Oh, that's kind of an expensive hammer, I presume. You can use almost anything for it. Once you have the hammer, you can then make a file. To make a file, you make 2 iron plates. Yeah, pretty much anything in this form, any kind of metal ingot in this form will get you a plate. That's pretty inefficient, but wow, did that use up? I used up a. Oh, I bet that was almost broken before. I thought that was a new hammer, but evidently I only have a sliver of durability left. Regardless, that's the crafting recipe for a file. Once you have a file, you can then make. That's what you can do with it. a knife. Once you have a file, you can make a rod. A rod is... what is a rod? 2 of those. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. A rod is just a file and 1 ingot. So with that, you can make a knife. See, so I always get those buttons backwards. You can make a knife by doing a rod file, and you can see how you just progress through the tools like this. This just uses up durability. It doesn't use up the item itself. And as you can clearly see, there's 39 pages of recipes making knives of different durabilities. Same thing with all of these, just adjusting what materials go into it, just adjust the durability. Now let's show you how to do some initial processing. With just plain iron ore like this, the stuff that looks like smooth stone, you can just throw that in a furnace and you'll get out yourself an iron ingot. And that's how you're going to get your early start. But after that, as soon as you get a hammer, as soon as you get, you either use the iron for, a hammer, or get some gems and make a hammer, or however you do it, you're going to be able to begin some rudimentary processing. Place this down in the world and just hammer on it. Gets you crushed magnetite ore. Most all ores you put down will be like this. You can also just use the hammer for mining itself. Kind of saves you a step. I didn't do that in this case, so you have to place it back down to use a hammer on it. So I have the crushed magnetite ore, and here I have a cauldron. This is just a normal vanilla cauldron, taking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, taking 7 iron to make a cauldron. I have it next to an infinite water source here, just for convenience sake. And let me just throw this in. 1, 2, 3. You notice how I throw it in and that comes out purified magnetite ore. Throw it back up here in a crafting grid and you get out the next stage of it. And then throw that, or you also need a bucket. Then you put it back through and wash it again. So, and that gets you magnetite dust. And now the magnetite dust you can throw straight into a furnace and get your result. Now magnetite's kind of a low-end iron ore in that processing it only gets you 3 iron nuggets. So it's a source of iron, not an ideal source of iron. There's some better sources out there, but I'll get to them later as I'm digging into stuff. Okay, let me just put some stuff away real quick. Doesn't go there. I'll clean up my inventory stuff later. Let me show you one of the things I've been using. One of the reasons I went all the way to the knife recipe is because I'm a big fan of the watering can from Extra Utilities, and the only way you can get the watering can is with a knife. Where'd I put it? Here we go. See, Gregtech goes a long way to change up different recipes to make things harder. What's the recipe for this? Let me pull this up. Watering can, here we go. Yeah, it's 4 iron ingots, a wooden bowl, and bone meal. always check an NEI on every piece before you start a new crafting thing. And this, the wooden bowl, which is a vanilla item, gets kind of nerfed to require a knife but only one wood. So you're going to need to have some hand tools before you make this. There you go. So, watering can, great for speeding up the development of crops. That's that. That's a brief explanation of how Gregtech changes how your early industry stuff. Alright, one of the things you will quickly see is that with all the ores added and all the size of some of the veins in hey bub. Huh. I wonder if nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Let's go ahead and put that in slot 1 anyway. Just in case he's feeling froggy. Anyway, one of the things you'll quickly find is that with the size of some of these veins, you're going to run out of inventory storage quickly. Something you'll notice over here is I have a bunch of cotton crops. You'll see those pretty often around in the world in some plains biomes. I've seen them in forest biomes and the such. Really kind of cool idea. So it's out of Pam's Harvest Craft. Let me just get a couple stacks here. Neat thing about this is that it can be used for string. Your first stuff you can just do one for one, get a seed out of it to expand your crop production. And once you have a sizable array amount, or a sizable farm going, and you want to start actually producing string, it's some recipe here. Well, hold on. 3 of them for 2. Okay. String. Here we go. Alright. So, as you can see from my NEI here, an awesome way to expand your inventory is a backpack from forestry. The recipe is just 2 wool, 4 string, 2 iron, and chest. So let's get started with that. Chest. That was weird. Let's try that again. Chest. Let's see. Wool is 4 string. I need 2 of those. And 2 iron. Let's see that here. And bam, my miner's backpack. It automatically picks up pretty much anything that's an ore, things like that. And it adds, 3x5, 15 extra storage spaces. There is also another backpack. You see with the forestry backpacks, there's a special purpose one, a 15 slot and a 45 slot one. Once you have some industry build up, you can make that through forestry. And there is also those are backpacks. Let me look at, excuse me, bag. There's some alchemical ones from Equivalent Exchange. I'm not sure how far along Equivalent Exchange is. There's a lot of work in progress stuff in that mod. Let me come down here and show you a canvas bag from Blue Power. This is 8 canvas, and each canvas is 8 string and a stick. So let me get one of those too. I know I'm going to need a lot of these, so I'll just get a couple stacks here. Oh, that's enough for one right there. Awesome. 8 of those. A canvas bag. And as you can get out of the rain, as you can clearly see, miner's bag is limited to what you can put in it. See, I'm trying to put in cotton, trying to put in a watering can. It'll just accept ores and the like. It'll accept an iron ingot, but it'll accept coal, but it won't accept wood, won't accept tools, that kind of thing. So that's kind of a dedicated bag just for mining. The canvas bag is anything, and it's actually a little bit bigger. Only thing, the canvas bag will automatically pick up stuff. Your first 15 slots worth of ore that you mine is automatically going to fill those first 15 slots of there. The canvas bag, you have to put stuff in manually, but as you can see, anything fits in there. A bucket, a sword, carrots. Alright, excellent. So, that's the bags, and they are awesome. Extra inventory space has kind of a meta effect that when you're out mining, you can have much larger excursions to do mining stuff. You can carry more resources with you, and all that jazz. Oh, and here I decorated a couple of bibliocraft tables. They don't do anything, but they're pretty neat. I was all 40 carrots. It's a strong table. Hold on, I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, that little rainstorm's over. As I said before, between my first 2 episodes and this episode, as I kind of figured out some of the YouTube stuff and all that stuff, I was still kind of playing a little bit. I wasn't advancing any kind of tech or anything like that, but I was gathering some resources. So I have a decent amount of like low-end resources, stuff that you can just get with stone tools and a couple iron tools, stuff like that. One thing with Gregtech is most stone tools can harvest pretty much anything. Anything I've found, stone tools can harvest. So you know, I just been gathering some low-end resources, doing a lot of watering of that to get that up. Got some wood, other stuff of that sort. One other thing I have gotten is dug up a lot of clay and some of the sand from around here to build myself some coke oven blocks. Coke oven blocks is 4 just clay bricks, and just one piece of clay, and in an oven produces a clay brick, in a furnace produces a clay brick. So you need to make a coke oven, which is from Railcraft. You need a total of 26 blocks. So you need 26 of those. You know, what was that? 4 bricks, 5 sand. You need 26 of those to make the multi-block structure coke oven. So let me just hold on, let me run back. I want to get pick up some dirt real quick, or I'm gonna do cobblestone. There we go. I want to lay out kind of some tentative stuff. So I'll eventually move up there, but in the meantime, I'll be building infrastructure down here in this plains area down around here. I kind of want to make sure that my my efforts on building this infrastructure isn't wasted. So I'm kind of building it with that in mind, that eventually the resources that will be produced down here will eventually get piped up there, or maybe rail carted up there, or however I do all my item transport stuff. Regardless, I want to lay out and do a tentative kind of outline of how I want to do stuff. My general, let me just switch to this. My general theory on how to progress in this mod pack is kind of along the lines that the hardest thing to do is probably going to be to progress in Gregtech. Gregtech has pretty solidly laid out ages. You start off getting into the Bronze Age, then you get into Steel, and I think Electrical after that. But Gregtech's really good on nerfing a lot of stuff, especially within Gregtech itself. Usually every other mod that's in a mod pack with Gregtech is going to be easier than Gregtech. So a lot of times I'm going to be working along building out my infrastructure before I tackle the core column, so to speak, that's going to be Gregtech. So what I am going to do here, I'm going to start off building up my wood stock, my stock of wood rather, with forestry. I'm going to try to get into forestry some, because forestry, at least back in Ultimate, was a pretty easy way, or a pretty efficient way, to get resources. Bees are... Bee breeding out of forestry is an effort, but it's an effective effort. I certainly won't be getting started on that right away, but I do want to start off with a forestry multi-farm. So I am intending to... See, I have this little cut down in this this plains biome here. Kind of runs underneath the ground a little bit. I'm probably going to build my multi-farm so as that it's just flat here, and I'm going to have a tunnel leading to this. So, you know what, hold on. Let me get some stone tools. This is a steel shovel. I don't want to waste that. Alright, I'm back. I'm just cutting a preliminary little ditch down here, just to kind of have an idea of where this is going to come out at. Okay, I think I knew that was there. So it's going to come out right at my little road over to my mine shaft. So let me cut away here. I'm going to do some digging. I'm also going to do a little bit of terraforming. I want to level this out just a little bit. I'm going to dig down here so that the multi-farm will end up ideally being just level with the surrounding terrain, kind of to hide some of the infrastructure. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, got that done. Let me just kind of show you guys how I got that laid out. So this will be the approximate site for my forestry multi-farm will end up going. I just wanted to get that laid out because that's the larger, more complicated of the multi-block structures that I'll be putting here. So I kind of wanted to get that laid out so I could get everything lined up. My intention is I will go ahead and do that. Let's look right about here. See how this gets me. I'm going to stick my coke oven, my Railcraft coke oven, right about here. And my intention is to make use of some of the byproduct of it. Railcraft uses the coke ovens produce, what's it called, creosote. I'm going to make some kind of use of it. I don't know if I'll ferment it or do something with it. So I kind of want it in line with what will end up being probably my little forestry area. So I'm kind of tucking this in so that I can start processing some of my coal into coal coke, which is a has far more energy to burn, and so that I can start accruing or accumulating. Bam. Nothing? What did I forget? Oh, the middle one. Alright, here we go. Bam. There we go. And start off almost half a stack. So I'll eventually probably have a line of coke ovens here if everything works out the way I'm kind of thinking. That'll be dumping into, I don't know, some kind of underground refineries or something. I don't know. I'm kind of playing it by ear. I kind of want the coke oven out of the way a little bit. anyway. So that gets me started cooking up some coal coke. I think it's like double, triple the burn time of coal. So that will get me, that'll save a lot of resources when I'm cooking up different things. Okay, I'll be back in just a little bit, guys. Alright. That's a good wrapping up point for the episode. We've went over a lot of good stuff, got some infrastructure built, some preliminary, rudimentary infrastructure as it is. Every little bit helps, and if you guys like this video, if you got to this point, make a comment. Tell me what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. If you really like the content, by all means subscribe. It's certainly seems like it helps viewership, and any comments you leave, I will try to get to them. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.